I have been the victim of an abusive relationship. I am not a babyface. I am not a heel. I'm a human being. And each and every one of you has been awful to me. That you would like me a little bit, and it worked for a second, but then it wasn't enough. I worked hard like I always do, and I started to win and 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 win. I won a lot, and you hated it. It wasn't enough. It's never been lost on me that each and every single time I stand in this ring, it is because you allow it. All you ever do is take. You take, you take, and you take, and you only care about yourselves. Listen to this, I'm breaking up with you. I'm done. I'm breaking up with every single person. Whether you like me or you don't, you're dumped. And your time is finally up. And my time is finally now!
I don't know about you, but I had one of the most bittersweet feelings about Cena's segment in Germany. On one hand, I was extremely excited to witness one of the most compelling stories ever told in a pro wrestling ring, and also to see how great of a villain Cena is, even though he hasn't played one in almost 2 decades. But at the same time, I was heartbroken that my childhood hero called me pathetic.
You are pathetic.
That little motherfucker who is identical to Augustus Gloop from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was literally me when I heard those words. But after listening to Cena talk for over 10 minutes about how his heel turn was caused by the fans, I found myself thinking about what exactly our role is in this whole story. But before we talk more about this, I would just like to humbly ask you to subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up, because that helps our work a lot. Now, let's get to the content. Talking about the commercial success and phenomenon that Cena has become within WWE is a real redundancy. The biggest seller of pay-per-views, the biggest seller of toys and t-shirts. And although all of this is clear, as a result of his talent, charisma, and dedication, there is a primary factor that motivates all of this success: us. Without you tuning into Netflix to see this man in action, without you buying his shirt for your kid, and without you screaming that he sucks, there is no John Cena, there is no Super Cena, and there is definitely no heel Cena.
John Cena's a guy that came from nothing and made himself into the biggest star in this industry. Some people love him, some people hate him, but the fact remains true. He sells out arenas all around the world. He did that on his own. He did it by winning them over.
But now you may be wondering, what does our attention have to do with Cena's motivations for turning heel? And before answering that question, I would like to make it clear that obviously this is all a scripted story. With that in mind, let's enter this fictional world to find an answer. And just to make sure all points are clear, I'm gonna break this story down into parts. The first sentence Cena uttered after his actions at the Elimination Chamber were,
"Someone is properly grounded in life."
And that phrase took me straight to Ralph Waldo Emerson's quote, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you into someone else is the greatest accomplishment." And who exactly do we wish John Cena was? The first moment he arrived in the ring, he was just a muscular kid who said,
"Ruthless aggression."
So, to please the audience, the doctor of thugonomics was born. He definitely had considerable success, but he would never become the face of the company. And who decided that? Us. So to please what we wanted, Super Cena was born, and only then did our golden dancing monkey achieve all his victories. But not exclusively on his own merits, but because we, whether we loved him or hated him, made him dance the dance that we wanted to watch. So inside heel Cena's head, he was never himself, just an object of constant search for our approval. And it definitely worked. He got everything he ever wanted as long as he obeyed us. But our wants and needs are eternal, while his body and athletic abilities are not.
It's just, what do we get? What do we get? What do we get? What do we get?
And do you know what we get? Precisely what we want. The next big thing. When Cena left the picture, due to his Hollywood commitments, but also because his body simply could not handle the life of a full-time wrestler, business remained as it always was, getting better every day, and we simply elected our next dancing monkey. So Cena, and this I repeat, inside the fictional head of his character, felt betrayed. He shaped his entire personality based on our excessive expectations, and for us, he was never more than a means of entertainment, who could be replaced at any time. Imagine that you are a good and very successful person. You're the highlight of your company. You get up every day to get to work because you are an exemplary employee. You face horrible traffic to get to work, but even with all the obstacles, you arrive on time because you, even exhausted, are that person. There is, however, a problem. The moment you step foot in the company, all the employees together scream at the top of their lungs that you are a piece of shit, that you should be different, that your values are worthless, and that, besides being boring, you don't deserve the success you have, even though you worked hard for it. You accept this day after day for almost 2 decades. The only question I can ask in this scenario is, if you were this person, would you feel emotionally exhausted? But our analogy doesn't stop there. After years, you can no longer go to your job every day, because now you work for several other companies, and in the time you were away, another employee took over as the best employee. He's exactly like you, has the same ideas, acts the same way, only he's not you. Does not have the same impact, charisma, and definitely the same results that you had back in the day. But even so, when this employee goes to work, people don't yell that he's a piece of shit. They accept his position and respect him. Would you judge yourself if one day you went crazy and beat up this new employee? And again, I know I'm being repetitive, but I don't want to be misunderstood. All of these arguments are within the fictional mind of John Cena's heel-turn story and do not equate to real life. And to that point, I'd like to go back to a time in wrestling history, which was around 2011 to 2015. And if you were a pro wrestling fan during that period, then there was one thing you were asking for: John Cena's heel turn.
How about a little heel turn? You see, that's the excitement that I'm talking about.
And you were right. I'm a huge John Cena fan. But still, I have to admit, on many occasions, the man was boring as hell. All his arcs were repetitive. His victories already seemed dull. And we all cried out for some change. But did we really want change? Or did we just want to be represented by a villain? Because the fact is, at that time, there was no other name to carry the commercial burden of the company. John Cena would be the face of the franchise, heel or babyface. So why did we want her to be cruel at all costs? Even though we knew that this man was a symbol for millions of children around the world. Even though we knew that the entire company would be what it was if it weren't for the hero carrying all the morals of the world on his shoulders. Did we want this change simply because we wanted something creative? Or because deep down, we all have a villain inside us? So did John Cena turn heel at the Elimination Chamber, or were we the heels all this time? Remembering that this video is only intended to reflect on our participation in this fictional story and nothing more. I hope you were entertained, and if you stayed here, I ask again that you subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and click on the bell, as this will greatly help our continuity. Stay well, everyone, and until the next video.